me.
Hi guys, happy Friday. Welcome to the Design Exchange with your host, Danny Russo and Melinda Peters Elliott.
Hello, everybody.
We have a special guest with us, and her name is Allison Eden from Allison Eden Studios, and she is out of New York City. And she is just a gem that me and Melinda met at Market. We met when we was, mini market? It was a COVID market.
Yeah.
And we were all hanging out at one showroom. And Allison is an amazing tile and textile designer, right?
Yes,
and
thank you.
Tell us about you, because your designs are just over the top, which I absolutely love. You've been featured in Bergdorf Goodman's. You've been featured all over the city. I feel like there's Sex in the City involved in you somehow.
Yep. I used to do sets for Sex in the City. So I am a glass mosaic artist out of Brooklyn, New York. I also have a line of wallpapers and fabrics and clothing. I just created a line with Zuo, a beautiful collaboration of furniture. And yeah, I'm just trying to expand on my my knowledge of pattern making and repeat patterns and really beautiful, over the top, fun, colorful tile, which we make by hand in our studio without any machinery. Mm-hmm. You got it. Yes. That's actually the sample from the Mirage Spa in Las Vegas.
Well, I thought you said that you did sex for Sex in the City. So that's why I laughed very hard.
Whatever pays the bills.
I'm trying to be serious, and I'm like, oh, Melinda.
Whatever, a jack of all trades.
You started out with glass mosaic, right?
Yes.
And then you moved into fabrics.
Yes, I've been making glass mosaics for over 30 years now. I started right out of college, and just by fluke, I walked by a store that had this beautiful, beautiful glass. I bought some, and the rest is history. I would walk around the city, going into from restaurants to nightclubs to wherever, to show them my little cardboard sample that I glued with Elmer glue, in hopes that somebody would, look at what I had to offer. And
your lip tile is what I love.
Right?
I know.
Did you do some of the tile at the Palms Hotel in Vegas, or am I imagining that?
Not the Palms, but almost every other casino there. My most recent is Circa. I've done stuff from the Wynn, the Mirage, Caesar's Palace, Venetian, Palazzo, a lot in Cosmopolitan.
I love the
oh my gosh. Actually, the Cosmopolitan might be my largest resume.
Really?
Yeah.
Art. I'm like, that's my favorite hotel to stay at.
Yeah. Oh,
it's such a mishmash of all different types of mediums of art. But that's one of my favorites.
So, Allison, how did you get involved in doing all of that with the casinos?
Oh, so I just started calling. I literally cold called. Like my first job right out of college, I didn't really know what I was. I was living in New York City, and, my parents were getting a little tired of paying for me without a job. So so I put an ad in all the newspapers, in the yellow pages, saying I was an architect, a designer, interior designer, a florist, a baker. I was putting I was everything. You had no idea. I got to C's, and I was a contractor, then G's, I was a general contractor. And this is like the early 90s when, the yellow page, when it was totally, you could do anything. And And so, I didn't have anything to lose because I didn't have anything, whatever. So I got a call from a Burger King opening on 46th Street. And they said, we saw your ad in the Yellow Pages. We're looking to put a floor in Burger King, and we are looking for somebody to do the Brazilian wave in 3 weeks, but nobody in the tri-state area will take the job. And I was like, oh, you've come to the right place. I do this all the time. I mean, I was like,
offer speedy service.
Right. I was like, not a problem. I specialize in this. No idea. And I didn't know what even flooring meant. So I had to, not a clue. I mean, I'm in my early 20s. What's a floor? How does a floor even get there? So I rented a car and I drove to Home Depot in New Jersey, and I bought a video on how to tile a floor. And I went to Staples and I bought remember those carbon invoices?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. My invoice was 001. You would have thought they might have a question when I'm like writing my invoice. Didn't think twice. I got the job, and I didn't even know how I priced it. I just threw a number of how much I wanted. And I sometimes still do that because I have sometimes you never know. So,
right.
So I just threw a number out there. They said, okay. And I went and I tiled the job. And in that time, the early 90s, the city was not super safe. And so, I had to work in really sub conditions, and I would hire homeless people off the street to mix the grout. And
okay, you're by far the funnest podcast guest we've had. You're hiring homeless people to mix the grout. Gary, get over here. You might learn something.
I was newly dating him at the time, and he was working on Wall Street. And, he would come to visit me and all dressed up in a suit and a briefcase. And he used to sit on a bucket all night long because he wouldn't leave me. He's like, I can't leave you here. I was like, listen, I might not be the type of girl you really want. It's okay if you go. He's like, I'm not leaving you. I'm staying right here. And so he, I guess him seeing me in full of mud in the middle of winter in a Burger King, working with whoever I could find off the street.
Homeless people.
Right. He stayed. What a gem.
I am cracking up.
Mark and Fred to do that, Melinda?
Huh?
You think we can get Mark and Fred to do that for us?
No.
So,
oh my gosh.
You started in tile as your medium, and then did you just recently transition to fabrics? Because your prints, I love them. I just saw them all. They're coming out.
So colorful.
Thank you. Well, I've been taking pictures of my work. I'm sorry, the phone's ringing. Hopefully Gary will get it upstairs.
We lost somebody's audio. There we go.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You're gonna hear you.
Okay. So, where were we? I'm sorry. I got
Burger King.
Okay.
We were transitioning into fabrics.
Oh, fabrics. Okay. Fabrics came later on. Here's a fabric when I was approached by Libatex. See Libatex?
Oh yeah.
From Stacy Garcia called me and she said, I love what you do. And I love her. So she said, let's create a collection of fabrics. So I said, okay. And she did a beautiful collection. And from there, all I could think about, I wasn't thinking upholstery. I was thinking clothing. So I started making my own.
I've seen you wear your own fabrics. They look.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Well, right. Well, these are all commercial upholstery fabrics. And, I make clothes out of them. They're not really all that breathable, but they look fabulous. So I decided to get myself a location at Bloomingdale's. So it was amazing. I called up Bloomingdale. I had met them previously, but I said, listen, I have clothing. I want to come in. And so I went to the CEO's office. I decorated the whole room with all my vintage clothing, not even anything I made. And I was like, could you imagine this dress with this fabric? And he's like, yes, but how are you making it? I was like, well, I was thinking you'd make it, and so, but Bloomingdale's has always been really supportive of me, and they've had me do a lot of sculptures for them. So it was a kind of an easy in, but you need to prove yourself. You can't just come in and say, imagine, if you will. And so
so you became a sculptor after you were a fashion designer?
No, from fashion. From fashion, I know it all just gets all mixed. It's all a whole web.
So cool.
I went from fashion design into glass mosaics, and then back into making fabric with Libatex, and then making clothing from the fabric, which led to the Zuo furniture collection.
Yeah.
Okay.
If anybody listening, Zuo just launched Allison's collection at High Point Market this past April.
Yeah, spring. Yeah.
April 1st. It was April 1st through the 3rd. I'm like, where are we? What month is it?
I know.
But yeah, your furniture looks amazing.
And it is so cute.
It's such a pop of color.
I know.
Oh, it's fun.
That's what I was going to say. I love that Allison is bringing color back into our worlds.
Thank you.
I mean, your mixing of color is so unusual and not something that's out of a textbook. It's something that only you can do. I feel like I couldn't mix the things that you mix and make happen. But it's
how do you come up with your designs, Allison? Like, what inspired you?
Well, I come up with collections. I'll start with like my one collection that with the lips. I thought, okay, for this collection, I'm going to make everything I love. I don't care. I'm going to create things I love. So I made a whole collection of tiles, of unicorns and rainbows and lip gloss and palm trees and vacationing. I did a whole everything I love collection. And I remember my husband, after I made the collection, he's like, why can't you make something that will sell? And I was like, this is going to be the greatest, I swear. Because fast forward 30 years, we're now working together. And so, he laughs. When I first created the lips, he was like, who in a million years is going to buy lips? I was like, everybody. Oh, just watch. And so, and
now, I know the little bit of, so me and you, you've been on my radar for years, and we miss each other either at KBIS or wherever we're at. Everybody's, you got to meet Allison. Wasn't there a lip incident at
those? It was.
Melinda, I don't know if you know this story, but I'll let Allison tell it because it's her story to tell. But
so I kind of went wild. So I was at Coverings, and Coverings is the tile and stone show where you show your collection. And there was some people kept coming up and saying, your lip board is downstairs in the China section. And I was like, oh no, it's not. And so I went down there with Joseph Hacker.
I was watching this all unfold on live, like Facebook Live or something.
Right.
Oh my God.
That pattern is not one that is like, a commodity item. That one is not going,
right.
And I go up to this room, this really big booth, and there it is, a huge lip board done in marble or stone. And I said, I said, where did you get that? And the girl looked really nervous. And she said, I designed it. I go, really? You did not design it? And I said, you're lying. This is not, I go, this is what makes doing trade shows, coming and showing your hard work to the world and having somebody come and, from another country and be able to make it for nothing and totally copy it and not a problem. Well, I went totally wild and I started freaking out and I said, you have to remove that. And they were, I don't know. When you have like a blackout moment, you don't know what you're saying.
I mean, I would be seeing stars if I were you.
I would, because this was like, this
baby.
was not, it wasn't a maybe they copied. It was like, and she knew it was me when I came there. So 2 minutes later, I had her smoking cigarettes in a fetal position in the corner of the room. And I was like, I worked so hard my whole life and to see this and and to be lied to and say you made it. And when you didn't,
Yeah. Like don't copy. That's when I made my knee bag and I was so afraid, of somebody copying me, in China because I
saw that. Where do you think they saw the lips?
Well, they did say that somebody sent it to us to make. I was like, oh, really? I wonder who, I don't know who, somebody sent it to us to make. So, it's,
you kind of should feel honored because what do they say? Not knocking off. Copying is the biggest form of flattery, right?
Yeah,
kind of.
Well,
but
those people will never copy again. I don't even think they did this. They'll ever do the show again. I really went crazy.
I know. I remember. I think you had them remove the booth. They removed the lips immediately.
Well, I was so excited. I went and I bought spray paint and I was coming back for round 2 the next day if it was up. And I was planning on spray painting their whole entire booth. I was going to make, just go crazy.
When I get mad, that's how I was. Something.
Well, I was planning on putting spray paint in both things and be like, but I understand if something looks similar. It's so but when something is that's it.
Correct.
There's, and it, right.
Yeah.
So, but I still wonder to this day, who called you to make that?
Right.
Do you do any kind of intellectual property work with?
Do you
trademark your stuff now?
Yeah.
Is it?
It was copyrighted.
Oh, that's a big thing.
Woo!
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
I feel like in China, they can get away with that because they don't have the same copyright laws that we have here, or they don't translate into that country and they bring them here thinking nobody's going to notice. But I hear that happening a lot with lighting when we're at shows. But
yeah, I think it's very hard, but I always am trying to stay one step ahead, but that's very hard because, it's like I'm constantly running on the hamster wheel as fast as I can. And, I just feel like if you put something out there that you absolutely love and you stand by your product and, I love what I do and I love what I give to the world. And I'm not just making tile. I put so much love and energy and time into each piece that you're not just buying tile, you're really buying a piece of glass art.
Right.
So
experience too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I feel like I know more about glass than I feel like I know so much about glass that I could teach somebody, even people making glass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever done stained glass?
Well, that's what I use. I use stained glass in my work.
Oh,
so that's what it is. Okay. But I use all types of glass. Any type of material that that I can stick to a wall, I'll try.
I posted one of your tile mirrors years and years ago on a blog, and it's the one you have the dress of too. I think it's similar to that. I don't know how long did you make that in a mirror a while back? Because somebody contacted me and where can I buy this mirror? And I think it was your mirror.
Right, the little strips.
It was like all angular and faceted.
Oh, the diamonds?
The diamond. It was a diamond-esque.
Diamond-esque. I do a lot of diamonds, and I sell to galleries. I sell the diamonds. So they're not proper tile for a tile store, because I sell to a few hundred tile stores. So the artwork will be sold in galleries, which is really lovely.
That's so cool.
What is the biggest piece of art you've ever made with glass? Is it all like one be continuous, or?
Well, I could just keep going. It could be thousands of feet. Well, I've done a lot of casino work. Oh yeah. Tons of casino work where it looks just massive. I think my biggest projects are my casinos, and we're working on a really big one right now. I think it's so outstanding. I don't know if I could give it up. I kind of want to keep it. It's hard when you fall in love with what you're making. They're ready to accept it, and I'm not really ready to let it go. It's so nice. I mean, it's not done, but it's going to be probably like one of the best things I've made so far. So you'll see it soon.
You have a showroom in New York?
Well, you're standing in it. Can you see?
You're in it. I know.
Yeah.
So you're in Brooklyn, right?
We're in Brooklyn.
My friend Joey lives there. I'm gonna make a trip out there soon.
Me too.
It's very cool.
I want to go see her.
Brooklyn is totally cool. I used to manufacture across the street from Macy's, and we moved here like 12 years ago. And I just love it. I love that, the buildings are low. You have sunlight. UPS can come in. It's like a real manufacturing. And before, I was like in an old sewing factory that nobody, sews in New York anymore. I mean, just a few places, but
district is gone now.
Oh, breaks my heart. Well, there's a spark still there. There is a little bit left. Every time I go, a little bit more is gone, but hopefully maybe, but I do hear manufacturing is coming back, which makes me happy because, I've always been, very proud to be made in the USA. I find that to be so important. And during the shutdown, I had no problem at all. I was filling orders the entire time. I had zero issues. People would call, be like, are your lead times like 18 weeks? I'm like, no, they're like 2. I mean,
me and Melinda were making hand sanitizer and masks.
Me too.
I was trying to make candles. I was sewing. I was like,
so Allison, do you actually have sewing machines there? I mean, when you say you've made apparel, are you sewing it, or are you having the vision?
I make the patterns, because that's what I do. I make the patterns, and then I now bring them to a factory in the city, and it's the most amazing factory there. It's something out of like Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Like how, you see all the sewing machines going, and things are coming back and they're getting busier. So yes, I used to sew my own in my living room, but I mean, I barely have time to wash my hair. So
I know,
once I make the pattern, then I have somebody else sew it up, because I always screw up an armhole, or, the buttons are getting... So
I used to sew for 9 years. I did sewing of clothing, and I mean, it was so detailed. So that's how I got into doing window treatments, because it was a little simpler for me to do, but I love to sew. I was just fascinated. So now, are you in the same area of the city where Diane von Furstenberg is from?
Well, she lives downtown. I live on Upper West Side. So, I mean, it's a small town. I would say New York City is the smallest little town. I mean, you think it's a huge city.
I've been there about maybe 30, 40 times. And the last 2 times I went, I just got my bearings down as to because I've designed places on the Upper West Side. I figured out where the Carlisle Club is on the Upper East Side. I figured out where South Central Park is. I figured out where the Bronx is. I figured out Lower Manhattan, and Brooklyn's like across the river, right?
Yep. Yeah, just over the 59th Street Bridge, or whichever bridge.
Really, it's really exploded over there, because I mean, that used to be, people would be like, oh, you're from Brooklyn, but now it's like that's where you want to be rather than the city.
You know, I think it's more like chic out here than even, you know, it used to be the opposite. Like, you know, but people are moving to Brooklyn. It's very cool. You know, what's nice about it is that you could be an artist. You could, you know, be a mom and pop shop, or be, you know, create a restaurant and actually not have to worry about, you know, Chipotle's next door paying $100,000 a month. That's your rent. So you could actually be creative here. That's changing too, which is, you know, not great, but that's what made Brooklyn cool, is that you could get out. You know, if you look behind me, my studio's really big.
Yeah.
And I have 3 floors, and you know, but in the city, you know,
I'm running out of space. I just have boxes on top of boxes on top of boxes. Boxes.
Right. You're like a fish in a fishbowl. You need to keep growing.
Yeah, exactly.
I need a bigger.
Oh my gosh. I have a couple more pieces she made and sent to me. Here's another one.
Ooh, I love that.
These are very beautiful.
So, Allison, I know I've been to your website. It's Alison, right?
No, ALLISONEDEN.com.
Wait,
yes.
EdenStudios.com?
No. Okay. So my website is AllisonEden.com, and then my Instagram is Allison Eden Studios.
And make sure you guys follow her, because her stuff will blow your mind away. And you know, Flavor Paper. That's
I love them.
My power just went out.
I'm showing diamonds.
Like I'm living in another.
What happened?
That's hilarious.
So you have a Gary and I have a Gary too.
Right. I depend on him for everything. So wait, did it go back on?
No.
I feel like it went back on, because you look like it looks like black and white in the background, and you look colorful.
No.
It's actually a good look.
This is amazing.
Okay.
I am looking at these diamonds and things, and like, I am just amazed that this is glass.
You guys won't believe what I just did. The power didn't go out. I accidentally hit the power strip, plugging in all the lights around me right now. Oh my.
We have a block O for Ohio State.
I love that.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know if let's see. I have one downstairs in green.
You do? Oh my gosh.
Let's see. I can maybe try to show you. Hold on. Can you see?
Whoa, look at that.
Can you see?
Amazing.
I don't know.
Yes.
Can you see it? Because I'm just holding the thing up in the air.
Yep, I see it. I saw it. Yes.
Okay. So I just finished a green.
They're scraping something. I keep hearing this.
Oh, I know. We're wrapping. We have yeah.
I was thinking it was like cement board, and you were like,
oh no, we're wrapping downstairs. Sorry.
It's okay. At first I thought someone was blowing their nose.
Oh, there are a lot of noises not going on here.
You have to have this back on.
Oh my gosh. This is an amazing look.
Oh, isn't that?
Those titles are all hand cut individually, are they not?
I know.
Yep. And I template each one, so they fit together really nice. I'm not a fan of very large grout lines or irregular grout lines. Thanks. I mean, maybe it's my OCD like issue, but everything has to be perfect.
Yeah.
So
wow. Now, are you the only one cutting these pieces?
No, I have a full studio.
How many people work for you?
15.
Yeah.
And so and I've had the same team for many, many years. And we just love this. We do what we love. We create artwork every day. So it's not like going to a corporate job. And everybody that works with me also, like, for instance, my operations manager, he's a rock star and he's actually famous. I mean, he just toured with Joan Jett. Yeah. So I told him my retirement plan is to get one of those rock star vans and just go from show to show. So
yes, exactly. Exactly. Wow. So do you have, I know you the answer to this, but you have done work for celebrities as well. Are you allowed to tell us who?
Yeah. Let's see. Elton John, Rihanna, Mary J. Blige, Katy Perry.
I could totally see those looks in you.
Right?
I know.
I know there are others. Gaga. I just can't.
Gaga.
Well,
I'd do something for Gaga.
No, but I really think she'd like our stuff.
I do too.
Oh yeah, I do too.
It's so funny, the celebrities that you think like would have this over the top house. Like, I feel like her aesthetic's very clean, Mediterranean, that Italianate kind of thing.
Yeah,
that was her house in LA. But I've seen Elton John. Elton John was one of the first people to use Philip Jeffries' Mylar wallpaper on the ceiling.
Oh,
LA condo. And if you ever, do you know how to working with Mylar on a ceiling with so many imperfections? It's like,
oh wow.
I love that.
I do Mylar wallpaper. Here.
Love it. Love it.
Oh,
sorry. I know you're talking.
Fabric that you have on your Zuo collection too.
Yes. Oh, but these are hearts.
I love that.
That's amazing.
So I'm sorry, I interrupted you. You said Mylar.
No more
I was like, I gotta show you.
Yes, we want to see what's behind you.
Oh, here. You'll like this.
Yes. That's so cute.
I love that.
I see the teeth.
So I'm sorry. I know you mentioned Mylar. I was like, I can't forget this.
I love your wallpaper line. Where is it available? People, you have a shop online. I'm going to put the notes in here and I'm going to put. Well,
I don't like to make anything easy on myself. So when somebody calls about the wallpaper, I'm like, let me custom make you one. I could probably just hit click how many yards you need or rolls, but I really love, customizing. So they're sold through me. I haven't really looked for representation for it.
That's good. That's a very good quality to have. Your whole story is amazing. You need to write a
book.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
We need to continue this podcast and have you back on soon.
I would love to be back on.
We have some technical difficulties getting onto this. I wish there could be a behind the scenes show about this show.
That was
all of us having audio issues, but
we're all here.
I can't wait to see what comes out of you next.
What is next, Allison? Rugs? Are you doing rugs yet?
Oh, yes. I started to do rugs. I just designed some. We had some made. They're really fun. But the lead times during COVID they were so long. And I love everything fast. I can't wait. Like your sample will be 8 months. I'm already over it then. I'm on to something else.
Exactly.
So
find someone else.
Right. So I haven't really explored that, but I've created, if on my Instagram page, those little bubbles, it will show the rugs, and the rugs are beautiful.
I can't wait.
Yeah, they're fun, and I've sold some rugs.
As soon as it gets warmer, I might just come out and fly to see you and hang out and like.
Oh, I would love that.
I'm gonna play in the studio. I need to vacation so bad.
Well, I don't know if New York City is a perfect place for a vacation, but yeah, I think it would be so great, and I'll show you everywhere. It's coming back, thank God. So life is coming back here, and it's really nice.
New York City is really taking a hit.
Oh, it was really bad. But
I remember the one time you said that would you say there were trucks on the corners?
Oh yeah, that was so.
Of COVID.
Yeah, It just, everything was just creepy. And, you live in a city with millions of people that you're seeing every single day. And then all of a sudden you go outside and you hear birds chirping and no people anywhere. It was so creepy to me, and like with nothing open. And I felt really alone here because I started seeing, people like nobody was left in my building. I mean, we had like, out of 250 apartments, I think there were like 10 people there.
Wow.
And just
where
everybody
did they go?
Flipped. I don't know. Everybody seemed to like, go to Florida. Everybody. The whole city moved to Florida.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure Florida's not all that thrilled.
So Allison, before you started your business in the 90s, where did you go to school? Where did you grow up?
So I grew up in a place called La Jolla, California, and it's near San Diego, and had a really lovely idyllic childhood. It's like a beach town, so very just a sweet childhood with both of my parents were always so supportive of everything, and I never did well in school, but even though I was getting terrible grades, I was always the smartest to my parents. A C. It's awesome.
As artists, I mean, we can never be contained. I always hated going to school.
School was a struggle for me too. Like, I had to work twice as hard to get the grades that my friends that just, they could just get A's all the time. And I'm like, how did you do that? I worked so hard to get that B.
Yeah, I don't know if I was working so hard, but at least to my parents, I really tried. Like, and that D minus.
How'd you end up getting to New York City from California?
So I went to FIT. I went to Fashion Institute of Technology, and I just knew from the minute I came.
Jim Gunn, and he told her to make it work, and that's how she ended up laying tile.
Right. Well,
make it work, Allison. Make it work.
FIT was very, very hard, and it was like they were cracking the whip every night, and I was actually I was designing clothes for my friends who were like the door people in the nightclubs. So I could get in. All I could think about is like, I'm going to outfit everybody so I could get into the clubs. And so I remember my professor told me, you're never going to go anywhere in this world with those clothes. And I thought, that was the first time anybody ever told me hey, exactly. That was the first time anybody ever told me that I was, I couldn't do something. And from there, I was like, you just wait. And
exactly.
But everybody had all the door, the tunnel, the limelight spot, they all look fabulous. They really did. So
Melinda, you have no idea what she just said, and I will tell it to you later. But the tunnel and the limelight was an old church that turned into a nightclub, and Fred used to go there all the time, but now it's a David Barton's gym, but it's not David Barton's
not
gym
anymore.
No.
Yeah.
It turned into a mini mall for a second.
For half a second. Yeah.
It was like where you would go to go out. Boy, those were the days.
Yeah, my favorite was the tunnel. I just loved that place because there were all these different rooms with experiences. And
I remember, I remember the Roxy because that had a skating rink, wasn't it?
The Roxy. Oh, yep, that was awesome too. And Twilo. They were just all, you know what? You could do anything you wanted. You could be you and you could live. And you know what I noticed? That there was no hatred. Everybody just wanted to be happy and dance and have a good time. It was all about having a good time. And looking good, I thought,
right.
Exactly.
and it didn't matter. You didn't have to work like a dog to pay for your rent because rents were cheap.
Yeah. I remember one of the first times I was in New York, we stayed at the Chelsea Hotel, and I was still under construction. everybody else.
It will be under construction
Andy
forever.
Andy Warhol lived there. Suzanne Barsh still lives there, I think.
She still lives there. Yep. And I just fixed her windows. If you look at the so we're friends. Yeah. And all of the every apartment has these beautiful stained glass windows, and so I've been fixing a few.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
I love that whole area.
And I did her apartment too. So
that's cool. That's cool.
We need to wrap this up, and we're gonna have you back on again. But I'm gonna put a list of everything that I'm gonna show some of your work, and we're gonna put all your Instagram handles on here. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.
So nice talking to you guys. Yes, thank you for everything.
We are gonna have you on again, and I can't wait to see what comes next from Miss Allison Eden.
Woohoo!
Yeah. I know. Right. She's on fire.
Guys, follow the Design Exchange TDX podcast on Instagram, and allegedly we're on iHeartRadio now. Melinda,
yes,
nice.
iHeart, Apple Podcast, Spotify, all the things
everywhere. And if you're listening to this, you already know, but we're posting the videos as well now. So thank you, girls, and talk to you soon.
Okay, right, bye-bye.